Hi, everyone. Wonderful to see you again. And I saw lots of people raising their hand this morning when they were asked, is this your first PyCon UK? So welcome to you. Now, you know that that Monday is our Sprints Day. And it's possible that some of you have already formulated this question to yourselves. Who is already familiar with what a code sprint is and knows what to expect? And who does not? Oh, good, I have an audience. Good, excellent. Okay, so today and tomorrow and Sunday we've got talks and workshops which are probably quite well understood. On the Code Sprints Day, it's a rather free-form day, but we're getting together or working on our own, but we're here in the same place to work on different things. And some people will be leading a sprint on a particular project or product or initiative. It doesn't even have to be code. And it's an opportunity to be in the same place as other people and participate in some kind of open source software-related activity. Not even, as I say, not even working on open source software, but some initiative, some idea for a future conference. They're all the kinds of things that get worked on and have outcomes at the sprints. Don't get hung up on the word sprint. It doesn't mean that anybody's going particularly fast. In fact, one of the really valuable things about code sprints at a conference is that they are a fantastic on-ramp, a fantastic open door for people who want to become more involved in open source software and contribution, but need a bit of help to get there. So you'll walk into rooms where there are people who are working on things, who will invite you, who will help you become successful at doing that. And you don't need to have any particularly deep software or other domain skills. The most useful thing you can do, the most useful thing you can have is to be there and to be keen to do something with other people. How many people are planning to be here on Monday, the Sprints Day? Great. And how many of you have not been to a Sprints Day before, of those people? Well, you're very brave, and it's excellent that you're doing that, so thank you. That's really good. The first time I went to an open source software conference was at DjangoCon Europe in 2011 in Amsterdam, and I had no idea what a code sprint was. And I didn't actually book my train or my hotel long enough for me to stay for the sprints, but I had enough time to be there for the morning of the first day. So I thought, okay, well, I'd never been to, I didn't know anything about open source software really, or about conferences, and had literally no idea what to expect. So my main shock was when I got to this conference, I thought, oh, how come this conference is full of children? You know, even the organizers seem to be the age of children. I just had no idea about what open source software was in those days, and I tell you that 12 years later, the people look even younger. The sprints were held in this building, De Waag, in Amsterdam. I don't know if anybody knows this building. It served as many things. Amongst them, it was an anatomy theatre for public dissections. So a rather splendid building. I don't know how old it is exactly, but it's pretty old because it's in Rembrandt's painting of the anatomy lesson. So it's at least as old as 1632. And I thought, oh, great, okay, this is a pretty cool place to be. And I went inside, and there were all these people clustered around desks, and I saw some people whom I met, and I said, oh, well, so what happens at a sprint? They said, well, here's a chair, oh, here's a MacBook, because I had so little idea of what happens at software conferences that I hadn't even thought to take a computer with me. And I was completely out of my depth as a programmer, and B, as anybody who had any idea about that particular project. But I said, oh, it was something that I actually used. I said, what can I do to help? He said, well, you can, why don't you have a look at some of the documentation? I thought, oh, great, I can do that. I can speak and write in English. And I didn't want to get on my train to go home. So I left, and I felt that I was leaving the best part of that conference, because I got a glimpse into all these people with their heads down over their projects, talking to each other in this quiet murmur. And it was this kind of hum of industry and collaboration. And I felt more than ever that I was in the middle of something that I really wanted to be a part of. And I just had to tear myself away and go home. So I've seen other people have similar experiences that they didn't expect at code sprints, where they sat down with somebody and had a conversation and got drawn into something and got helped along their way to be able to do something that they hadn't expected that they were going to be able to do. So fantastic that many of you are going to be here. Really wonderful that many of you will be here for the first time. And if there are some of you as well who hadn't planned to be here, but have a chance to poke your nose in through the door and see what it looks like, just like I did 12 years ago, I strongly encourage you to do that, because you're very welcome just to do that, to get a sense of the atmosphere, to get a sense of what is happening. And who knows, it might be the start of something for you. Now, I sent a message out on the Discord channel earlier, asking if anybody who's leading a sprint, and when I say leading a sprint, I make it sound like you've signed up for some kind of formal leadership role. Leadership pretty much consists of sitting at a table with a piece of paper with your name and the name of the project on it, and smiling kindly at newcomers when they walk past. Yeah, that's good enough for leadership at this point. If you're planning to lead something, or want to be here to work on something and hope that you might acquire some other collaborators, or somebody who will take part, or somebody who will share your idea or your ambition for something, now's your chance to come up to the front. This is what I ask people to do on Discord, and nobody has actually replied to me yet. And take a minute or two to tell people in this room what you are planning for Monday. Okay. And I know Owen's here, so is there anyone else who's already got some plans for Monday? 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, I'll give you a couple of minutes. The plans might form in that time. You'll be surprised how few people you need to get a ball rolling. I'm going to be here on Monday. And I've decided that what I'm going to do is mostly be here to help other people. My speciality is documentation, software documentation. So rather than working on anything in particular, I might have something rattling along, but I will be there. So if you are working on something and documentation is something that you want to advance in your project or want to start in your project, I'll be there and I can help you. So I'll be at people's disposal. And that's the kind of free-form, vague, open-ended leadership that we aspire to around here. But maybe some other people have got some more concrete plans, so in which case, why don't you come up one by one and say something about what they are. Do you want to start, Owen? Yeah, thank you. Use the stairs. Thank you, Carly.
Hello, everybody. My name's Owen. This event is backed by a charity called the UK Python Association. You might see on the schedule we have its AGM on Sunday morning. But we don't get an opportunity to get the trustees of that charity together face-to-face very often. And so on Monday, we're going to make the most of that. And those of us that are around, there are some items of business that we could do with discussing and making some decisions, and we will be doing that at the sprints. We like to try and be as open about how we work as possible, and this felt like a great way of doing it. But it's not a formal trustees meeting, so if anybody just wants to come along and ask us a few questions about how we work or what we do or suggestions of how we might want to do things differently, then feel free to pitch up and see what we get up to. See you on Monday.
Thank you. Oh. And that's a very good first example because it's not about a software project, it's about a collaborative project in software, but it's not actually a software project. I think another example would be the Django Girls Foundation itself was, many of those ideas came together at conference sprints. Who else wanted to mention? Jump up. And if, please, anyone else come to the front and have your moment up here.
Good to see you. Hey, I'm another Daniel on the stage. My name is Daniel Roy Greenfeld. I have two projects, and I'm not sure which one I'll go with. It kind of depends on who shows up, if anyone else shows up. One of them is, so modern Python packaging is really confusing. I thought it was confusing the last time I visited it 6 years ago. It's gotten much more confusing. So I'm working on a very simple, straightforward, very opinionated cookie cutter template that you basically, it does it one way, not many options except for names. So that's one thing. The other project that I'm considering is, it's called DJ Notebook. I haven't formally open sourced it yet, and it basically brings Jupyter Notebook into Django. Yes, in theory, you can use Django extensions shell plus to launch Jupyter Notebook. The reality is that only works when the stars align. So this not only makes it work trivially and allows you to import everything from Django extensions, but it includes special features like graphing of inheritance trees and other things like that. We already have it working at Kraken Tech. And we just want to bring it to the masses. So that's the other project. Not sure which way I'm going to go. Depends on who shows up and what we do. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Alex. I haven't got really any concrete plans yet, but all things language servers. And you're going to go, what's a language server? Well, all those completion pop-ups and go to definition and all those features that you love in your editor, that's generally these days provided by a language server. And so I contribute to PyGlass, which is a fairly popular framework in Python for writing your own, if that interests you. There's a PyTest plugins, a textual app, and then my own pet project language server for Sphinx documentation. So just, show up or speak to me after if you want to know more and see what happens on Monday.
Hi everyone, I'm Rob. I want to sprint on a thing called PySocialAuth, which is a way to authenticate OpenID Connect systems to Django apps, mainly is what I use it for. I hate the fact that it requires a users database to exist. My app shouldn't have a users database. So we are going to hack the users database out of PySocialAuth and publish some kind of fork or project or something that works on GitHub. That's the plan. See how far we get, right?
Was there anyone else who'd like to mention something? I'm not going to oblige anybody to come forward. So if you are sitting there in the audience and you're thinking, oh, that sounds really good, I kind of have half an idea formed, would you put your hand up just so I can see if it, I promise I'm not going to pick on you. Okay, maybe you don't trust me. maybe don't trust me not to pull you out. I wouldn't have done. There is one. Where is one? Well, I can't. Oh, look, I'm standing here with bright lights in my face, and you're sitting there amongst lots of people, so you have to wave your tentacles in order for me to see you. Do you want to come and talk about it, or are you just putting your hand up in the air? Oh, you do want to come up? No, I was asking. Good. Welcome. My question was there anybody in the audience who, having heard all that, is now thinking, oh, that sounds like something I might be able to do? I just wanted to get a sense of whether that had struck a chord with anyone. So, and I'm not quite sure if you were just waving to say that it had struck a chord with you, or if you were volunteering to come up here.
Yeah. No, I had an idea.
You have an idea, so come in. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, so my name's Luke. I use NEIO quite heavily, which is it's a front end essentially for running asynchronous code using either async.io or Trio as a backend. It is a great library, but it does. There is a bug in the 3.0 version that I would love to see fixed. I haven't contributed to the code base before, but I'm kind of familiar with it. And I would like to try to solve that bug on Monday. It involves cancelling tasks in async.io and having the cancelled error properly handled in the host tasks. So yeah, if anyone's interested in async.io and NEIO, then it would be great to try to fix that.
Thank you very much. Thanks. So, if you don't have to be anywhere else on Monday, and there's a problem in your world related to open source software, bring it here to the sprints, and you might find that there are people gathering around you to help you advance your ambition or your plan or solve your problem. And honestly, all you need to do is come with a kind of nice look on your face and kind thoughts in your heart, and you'll be fine. Even the kind thoughts in your heart are probably optional. Just come with a nice look on your face, and you'll be welcome here. Does anyone have any questions about the sprints that maybe, I know this is a new idea, a new language for some of you. Is there something that you'd like to know that you haven't heard answered or hasn't been mentioned? Yes, Vincent. I can't see so well from up here, so you'll have to wave your hands quite vigorously.
I feel you have somewhat answered this question, but a few people have asked if I can't stay till the end, if I can only come for a little bit, can I do that?
If you can't stay till the end, come in, sit down, even if you do nothing more than enjoy a bit of the atmosphere. That's really great. I didn't do very well. I did a little bit more than that on my first time, and I was so glad I did. It'll be, if you've got an hour to kill on your way to the train station or something, come in and spend it here. It won't be the worst place to spend it, I can promise that. You'll be really welcome to come in and then leave when you need to. It's a completely free-form day.
Daniele, can I pick up on that? When you come in, what happens at that point? You wander in the door, you haven't got a particular plan set up.
Yeah.
What is everybody else sat there looking busy and occupied, and you'll kind of walk out every tail?
Well, at the start of the day, we'll recapitulate what we've done now very briefly, and I promise you there will be more people than the people who were up here just now, because I know some of the people who will be sprinting are in other rooms right now. So there'll be various different projects. You'll get a reminder of what's happening. You'll bump into people that you've seen over the previous few days. They'll say, oh, what are you working on? I'm interested in this. I saw this bug in that thing. And it happens a little bit organically. There will be people who are like me, who are there with the express desire to be interrupted and asked for help to do something. Help me get Git set up, or help me get my SSH key configured, or help me format this thing so that I can make a pull request, or do you have an idea about something? So for many people, walking in to something that's already happening or seems to be going on since the beginning of time is a bit difficult, but that's why I say just come in and sniff the atmosphere and see if it seems like a friendly one, and start talking to people. So, Danny.
So for those of us who are parents and who are using the creche, is that how you say it? Creche? It's not an American word.
It's French, Danny.
Sure. Is the creche occurring on Monday?
Owen? We'll have to find out. I thought it was, but you've put a doubt in my mind now, so we'll check that. Okay. Yeah, we'll mention that on the Discord channel.
I think we have time for one more question, if anybody has one.
There is no creche on Monday. There is no creche on Monday. Sorry. How old is your child, Danny?
She's 4.5.
Okay. Does she know any Python? Is she any good at Python?
She's coding, just not.
She's coding. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll find something for her to do. What projects is she interested in? Okay. Yeah. Any questions before I disappear to my next thing? All right. I hope to see as many of you as possible on Monday, and have a lovely time here until then, and I hope you have a great time on Monday if you're there too. Thanks.